What is it worth, the life of a dog? What is it worth by itself? And what is it worth against the all-subsuming tsunami of human life? Is that why Laika by Nick Abadzis is a comic that made me cry, simply by being about the life and death of a dog? Simply by asking what it's worth? It's possible. Maybe that is all it needed to do in order to have that effect. Maybe I am as programmed as the followers of the sham religion Mercerism and Philip K. Dick's Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, deifying and ritualizing empathy and finding the most convenient manifestation of it to be fetishizing animal life. But to say that Laika made me cry because a dog dies in it seems shallow and a gross disservice to this book. This semi-fictional telling of the first living creature launched into orbit is a glowing, wrenching masterpiece. It's a partially made-up story of a completely real dog, and it achieves an almost ethereal balance between the historical political figures and forces that drive its plot and the imagined lives that silently question it. Even today, more than 60 years later, there will be those who don't know that the first dog in space never returned, was never meant to return. The 3-week window given to launching Sputnik 2, mainly for reasons of political grandstanding, never had the chance or the inclination to accommodate the extended survival of the payload. And this little dog's biggest assets were her gentle, calm temperament and her quietly suffering tolerance of this accelerated regimen. But the fiction never strays into anthropomorphizing her. Instead, her presence is filtered through her human masters, refracted in their minds and memories as canine expression. And Laika herself is presented as a gentle, traumatized stray whose primary need is for the love and approval of the humans around her, and whose hopeful eagerness to please is what makes her the best pick for this mission. There are other dogs in the program, but they're found unfit in comparison to Laika. The driving force of this book comes from clearly establishing and reiterating that it was Laika's complete trust of her humans, her willingness to endure pain and discomfort as long as it meant that she was loved. It was that determined her fate. It's the most innocent, unquestioning, and faithful of creatures, those that sacrifice what little agency or power they have for love and approbation. Those are the best creatures to exploit. Laika didn't move me to tears by yanking on a single thread of a dog that dies. Instead, it wove that thread together with numerous others. Human hubris and ego, scientific progress and research, politics and international chest thumping, our dreams and hopes and the myths that we write about ourselves, the flaws in us that are nonetheless the most potent signs of humanity. Laika weaves all of these together into a pathos-soaked tapestry of how we make manipulating and betraying trust, how we make that inseparable from human progress. Irrespective of our individual knowledge, Laika's story, its unfolding and its outcome is known to us. It's part of our history. Propaganda that she survived for 7 days and was euthanized painlessly up in space has been replaced by the more painful truth. But why have the propaganda in the first place? Why would there ever be, as there was, sorrow and outrage about what should be a simple, accepted scientific approach? This book ends with a 40 years later quote from one of the lead scientists, a central character in this book. "Work with animals is a source of suffering to all of us. We treat them like babies who cannot speak. The more time passes, the more I'm sorry about it. We did not learn enough from the mission to justify the death of the dog." What is it worth, the life of a dog, a creature by now evolved to live alongside and depend on humans? Laika by Nick Abadzis is rich and complex and heartbreaking, not because a dog dies in it, but because it is a book about love and betrayal and justification and human cost. The question it leaves us with isn't what would justify the death of the dog, but what are these measures we use? How is the worth of any life, not just the dog's, determined?